You'll probably see some gazelles, some wildebeest, maybe even a giraffe. But there's one small problem. Where are the rhinos or the elephants? Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but they're all dead. Assuming, of course, this is 100 years or so in the future. By then, the elephants and the rhinos will have become just some of the countless victims of what scientists are now calling the sixth mass extinction. Now, before we move on, I'd like to make one thing absolutely clear. I am not here to convince you that this is happening. The plain and simple fact is that it is. I am merely here to tell you just how bad the situation has gotten.
Oh my God.
Mass extinction is not new. The Earth has seen 5 before, the largest of which, the permanent extinction, saw between 90 and 96% of life on Earth go extinct. To compare, the one that famously killed the dinosaurs, the KT extinction, only saw around 75% of life on Earth go extinct. Not that big of a deal. Today, though, it's a bit different. Scientists believe that 1 to 2 species should go extinct naturally every year. However, due exclusively to human activities, this rate is 100 to as much as 1,000 times higher. Harvard biologist E.O. Wilson predicts that at the current rate, half of Earth's higher life forms will have gone extinct by the year 2100. But this has been going on for a long time. Some scientists believe that this event began 10,000 years ago, meaning that animals, such as the woolly mammoth or the saber-toothed cat, were some of our first victims. In the modern day, however, many, many more species have paid the price for our actions. Benjamin, the last Tasmanian tiger, died in the Tasmanian Zoo in 1936. The Yangtze River dolphin was last seen in 2006. The western black rhinoceros was hunted to extinction in 2011. That same year, the eastern cougar, a former New England inhabitant, was also declared extinct. Now, those 4 animals, they lost their fight. They're gone and they're never coming back. But there are currently thousands upon thousands more species at grave risk of ending up like any of them. The Sumatran tiger is believed to have less than 700 individuals left in the wild. The orange-bellied parrot, less than 50. And then we have a frog. Yes, a frog. That's particularly close to my heart. Cute little guy named Tuffy. Now, what makes Tuffy so special is that he is a Rab's fringe-limbed tree frog, or rather, he is the Rab's fringe-limbed tree frog. Because you see, Tuffy is the last surviving member of his species. The last known female died in 2009. But everything I've said up until this point really just begs the question, who cares? Who cares if we lose a frog that until a few months ago I had never heard of, or just one more parrot? Believe me, we've got a lot more out there. Well, I could give you a few reasons. I could describe to you the complexity of large-scale food webs, and how in 2008, ecologist Robert Anthony described how an increase in killer whale populations on the Pacific coast of Canada triggered a rather complex ecological chain reaction that ultimately led to bald eagles in Alaska having a much more limited food source. I can tell you the benefits of ecotourism and how one study conducted by Princeton and Cambridge ecologists showed that it generates more than $8 billion every year. I could tell you that many scientists agree that the vast majority of species that will go extinct in the next, let's say, 5 years, are not currently known to science, and likely never will be, simply fading away into extinction without anyone ever knowing they were there in the first place. I could go on, but I'm not going to, because I shouldn't have to stand up here and justify why I care about saving an animal that is only in the position that it's in because we put it there. We humans have only existed for around 200,000 years, and yet we have claimed and altered the planet in ways that no other species could ever have dreamed of, and hopefully once we're gone, we'll never dream of again. The corporations run by the corruption that we call government, see the planet as their own personal sandbox, with all of Earth's resources just ripe for the taking, and anything that does not fuel our technology-obsessed, social media-driven, self-centered society is as good as worthless. And forgive me, but I really don't feel that the latest version of the iPhone or someone's Snapchat story is worth the life of a single animal, let alone the lives of an entire species. But then again, maybe that's just me. Paul Farmer once said that the root of everything wrong with the planet is the belief that some lives are worth less than others. This is especially true today as we push further and further into this mass extinction, knowing that the only difference between the previous 5 and this one is us. Humanity is the sole cause. Extinction is no longer a natural phenomenon. And one day, when the Amazon rainforest is now called the Amazon desert, or the rhinoceros is just a memory from a time far gone, who will remember them? Will it be the species whose homes were taken, whose lives ended? No. That responsibility will fall to those who knowingly and willingly used, destroyed, violated the planet. And worse still is that people are okay with this. They simply turn a blind eye and say, well, they're just animals. Don't. Because if you do, then any hope left of stopping this is gone. Along with countless species that every single person in this room, myself included, takes for granted. And ultimately, ourselves as well.